It's been over 2 years since we've gotten an episode focusing on Spike and Rarity. I, for one, think there is a lot of story potential with these two, even without making their relationship any closer than it is now. So, when I had read the synopsis for Inspiration Manifestation several weeks ago, I was very much looking forward to seeing what sort of conflict the writers could come up with. And they did pretty well. I think it is a little worrisome that I was more fascinated by the implications this episode presented rather than the conflict itself, but perhaps I should start from the beginning. We hear Pinky announce the Ponyville Foal and Philly Fair. One more day of celebration to add to the list, I guess. Just how many holidays or special events have there been in Ponyville now? Can anyone get me a count on this? Rarity is looking forward to showing off her newest creation, but it seems that she's still focusing more on form over function, wanting everything she's working on to look good while sometimes forgetting the purpose behind the creation in the first place. Still, this isn't the first time she's focused more on form over function, and even then, those designs are just odd. So, Spike wants to do his part in helping Rarity get back into creating again, and goes to the old castle? The last time we saw this place was back during Power Ponies, which, come to think of it, was also a Spike episode. Anyways, after searching through the old library, Spike stumbles upon another secret chamber, and finds a rather evil-looking book. Now, of course, it was interesting to see more of Spike's oblivious behavior when he doesn't even notice how close he came to falling and how he has no qualms about bringing this book to Rarity despite the fact that it was hidden for a reason. But that really makes me curious. All throughout this episode, I was seeing just how this book is affecting Rarity. It's bringing some of her innermost desires to life along with the power to back it up. I was enjoying Rarity having her moments of obsession, almost to the level of Twilight during Lesson 0. But even though the episode was showing us the consequences of changing the world to suit what you want, that really wasn't the focus of the lesson. Rarity didn't end up learning anything here. In fact, when the spell was lifted, she didn't even remember what had happened to her in the first place. So instead we get a lesson with Spike learning to be honest with the pony he so admires even when it may hurt their relationship. Which is a good lesson, and I am hoping that Spike takes it to heart. But I don't know. There seem to be other lessons building up during the episode that didn't end up getting enough focus. I mean, Spike could have learned about how he needs to separate his crush with Rarity when it comes to looking at her creations. At the start of the episode, they seemed to be hinting at that possibility when the puppeteer didn't like Rarity's creation and Spike was still praising it. There were a lot of interesting implications with Rarity using the book's magic. She even starts referring to it as if it was a person. But even though Twilight walks in at the end of the episode telling Spike to never take any books from the old castle library ever again, I don't remember seeing Spike actually taking that statement to heart. Wouldn't surprise me if we see Spike doing something equally oblivious with another magic book from the library during next season. But what really fascinates me is the fact that Twilight actually calls this dark magic. I mean, we've seen examples of what we might have guessed is dark magic before, but this is the first time in the series that we know for sure. So with that in mind, would every example of this sickly green color be dark magic as well? While I was watching this episode, I kept wondering to myself whether Chrysalis had stumbled upon some similar kind of magic long ago. And the fact that this magic seems to imprint a new will upon the user has a lot of intriguing implications. So as you can already tell, my mind was buzzing with possibilities after watching the episode. But that could actually be considered a problem too. The conflict itself was very predictable. We all knew that Spike would have to tell Rarity the truth eventually, and there weren't too many interesting twists along his journey. Although I must admit that seeing Spike eating the book was definitely surprising. But really, I had a lot more fun with the implications presented in this episode rather than the episode itself. I don't think Spike has grown all that much having gone through this, nor has there been any real change to his relationship with Rarity. I imagine that he'll still be praising just about everything she does the next time I see the two of them together. Now, with that said, I don't think the episode was forgettable either. As per usual, Tabitha St. Germain put in a very entertaining performance. The subtle changes to her voice work when Rarity was going through all those different emotions was rather impressive. But I don't think that this episode really brought anything new to the table as far as characters. However, it did bring a lot of interesting new ideas, particularly with how dark magic works. I may have to do another video on that subject one of these days. Now, as far as Spike episodes go, I've seen episodes that have left less of an impression, but I've also seen episodes that have felt like that Mort had changed with his character. So it's not his best portrayal, but not the worst either. I had a lot of fun watching Inspiration Manifestation, but that had little to do with the main character, and I think that's actually a bad sign when it comes to watching any episode. I do think it was a good idea to use Aloysius as Spike's sidekick here, since using any other member of the main six or even the CMC just wouldn't have worked in that role. There were all kinds of fun little nods in the background, of course. Seeing Octavia again was a very nice touch, especially since I think we haven't seen her since Sweet and Elite back in Season 2. I'm also rather curious as to why the Royal Sisters kept this sort of book in their castle during ages past. Would either of them have ever used this spell in their youth? Ah well, that may be a subject for another video. In the meantime though, I would like to hear your thoughts. Given that we haven't had a Spike episode since Power Ponies, what do you think of his portrayal here? Given what we've learned about dark magic before now, do you have any new ideas on the implications presented in this episode? What are your favorite standout moments here? Do you have any ideas on what might have been improved? I would like to hear your thoughts on Inspiration Manifestation, and here's looking forward to all the new fanfic ideas that will spawn from the dark magic book in this episode. I am DRWolf, and I look forward to hearing from you.